the Jeff Meacham Network's Multiverse of Media. For over 15 years, the recognized symbol of excellence and the standard bearer in coverage of sports and entertainment.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Talk Wrestling here on this Tuesday night, June 27th, 2023. My goodness, 2023, almost halfway done already. Just crazy how time flies when you're having fun. Lord knows we are having fun across the multiverse of media, and we'll get to the shows you didn't see, and quite frankly, the shows you already did see toward the end of the show. Not really a whole lot of format, I guess, tonight, because I almost didn't do the show tonight, perfectly honest with you. I had kind of an interesting social day, if we're going to be completely real about things. And I was basically like, not going to worry about it today. I did, we recorded Friday's episode of Dads earlier today, which will go up again Friday afternoon. Just kind of was like whatever about it, right? And then we did the ODQ review, and the more I got into, okay, we're going to be live, go ahead and answer some of the questions I did get when I put out a what do you call it? I'll get there in a minute, I promise. There we go. That's what I wanted to do. Put out a thing on Instagram because I don't interact with the Instagrammers nearly enough, and that's 100% on me. I don't mean to ignore them, just doesn't work out that way, unfortunately. I don't get to interact with a lot of them. So anyway, let's go ahead and go into the chat room real quick. Say hello to everybody there. Hello, King Mike. Good to see you. Ram Jam. Love the screen name. Doing well. Doing very well, as a matter of fact. Daniel says, without giving away spoilers for NXT, does anyone else think that Ava Raine will be the new leader of Schism? And anyone else think that Chase U is bound to break up soon? If so, when it will happen? We'll definitely get into NXT. It's all good. Evening, Jeff. I missed the NXT review because I just got home for my birthday dinner. Happy birthday, Matthew. Happy birthday from all of us at the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. Also, remember, everyone, no spoilers for NXT again. I did not watch it. JJ made it very clear, to watch them back to back. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'll try to watch them tomorrow, either on my way to or after my first shift of the week at the House of Mouse. Speaking of the House of Mouse, JJ, of course, hey there, hi there, ho there, echoing the greeting from the Mickey Mouse Club. And yes, what do you guys want to talk about tonight? We'll leave it open. Psycho Jet Black, hello. Ken, hello. Good to see you. I meant to click Ken's name. There we go. There it is. Dave says, hi, Jeff. Good job on the NXT review. It was a good show. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. All right, let's get into your questions that came up on Instagram, as well as wherever they come in tonight. And if you guys remember, if you super chat on the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media, as well Jeff Meacham Network YouTube, and the Cassian Studios YouTube, we will see it. We will definitely prioritize your super chat and a question. Also, if JJ reaches $100 in no, wait, that was a different thing. We tried to give you guys the opportunity, but what we'll do is, please go ahead and keep super chatting. I had the incentive wrong. I apologize, JJ. I was putting your hair on the line without intending to, because we already passed that threshold. All right, first question on Instagram came from, I believe it's David. Do you think a Randy Savage versus Undertaker feud would have been? Okay, let me try this again. Do you think Randy Savage versus The Undertaker would have been a good match? I know we got that match once or twice, but a long-term program we did not get, unfortunately. Just didn't happen for whatever reason. I think you have to remember when Randy really started to wind down and go, actually when wind back up and become WWE champion again. Undertaker was already turning babyface in 1992. I don't know if you're allowed to remember that, David, but you're a little young. But it just wasn't in the cards because they were both on the babyface side of things when Randy left the WWF in 1994. So there you go. As far as, whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to do that. Thank you. All right, so we are going to run it back. All right, so if $100, if the $100 threshold is reached on the Custodian Studios side in terms of super chats and the donation side of things, JJ will buzz his head completely stone cold or Dr. Evil, whatever we're going to call it, bald, during the watch along of Money in the Bank on Saturday, which it turns out I will be a part of. It's the one day off I have from the House of Mouse between now and the end of next, I think Tuesday. I work Tuesday. I don't think I work Wednesday, the 5th yet. I might, so we'll see. But yeah, get those super chats in. There it is. There, they're coming in. There we go. Since I won't be in the predictions for Money in the Bank, what will my picks? I will definitely give those at the end. Thank you. Appreciate that. We'll definitely get to it. So thank you. And yes, Psycho, I'll start that question as well. All right. So yeah, Randy Savage again. Randy Savage and Undertaker, the timing wasn't there because they were both baby faces at a time that it really would have been viable. Remember, Randy and Undertaker were heels in 1991. Savage had the retirement match with Warrior, so he was on commentary. And by the time he came back out of retirement, he was feuding with Jake the Snake Roberts, who, along with Undertaker, had interrupted his wedding reception. So the beef was with Jake, not with Undertaker. And then Sid, I think, was battling both toward the end of 91. And then, 92 again, Undertaker was already on that babyface turn trajectory. So there you go. Colton Muti with a very simple question. How's your health, brother? Better than I deserve. I'm going back to work tomorrow at Disneyland. The shoulder, is what it is. I've got issues still. I've definitely got some bruising in there still, but nothing I can't maintain and manage with the TENS unit therapy and a little bit of prescribed, monitored medication. And I've got my CBD capsules if all else fails, just to help out the process. It's one of those. You manage, you work through it till you don't have to work through it anymore. Because I can't sit home. I've been sitting home for 2 months. I'm driving myself crazy. So gotta go back to work. So that's what I'm doing. So thank you for the question, sir. The Snow 86 says wants to know my opinion on the most underrated wrestler of the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and the 2010s. Well, there's a difficult question, but I'll go ahead and you know what, Psycho? I will go ahead and co-sign on that. $50 toward either channel, but I know we're both close to the $100 threshold, so split it up if you want. $25 to each channel. I will definitely sing the entirety of the lyrics of You're Gonna Pay right along with the music. There you go. That's what I'll do. I'm down for that. So silly, but the most underrated wrestler of the 80s. God, you remember I didn't watch in the 80s, so that's kind of hard for me to really get behind. Of the 90s, as far as underrated, I think stunning Steve Austin didn't get near enough credit for how awesome he was in WCW, which is why he didn't stay in WCW. When he fired, he didn't try to get it back. Didn't try. So there's that. So the 2000s. God, 2000s. I will go with. Just trying to think who didn't. You know what? I'll actually go with Perry Saturn on that one. I know he wasn't around for the entirety of the 2000s, but I definitely think that he got undersold. And the 2010s, I will definitely go with the proverbial guaranteed answer, Claudio Castagnoli / Antonio Cesaro / whatever. Claudio is definitely underrated, without a doubt. Brian Pillman also, I will say, for the 90s. Ken just unfortunately didn't, really get that breakout moment that he should have had when he was part of the Hollywood Blondes with Austin. So am I, Josh. Looking forward to both, brother. Our buddy Emmanuel, one of the subscribers in the members section of the Custodian Studios, says, and I quote, How much longer until the story of Cody runs its course? I feel like it's losing its steam with Dominic. I disagree. I think that the feud with Dominic is just fine. It's a good placeholder until we get back to the story of Cody chasing the WWE Championship, and I think that's going to pan out sooner rather than later. But that's just my thoughts on it. Okay, so I need to answer that, but I will do it momentarily because that's not important right now. Let me make sure I get all the questions out on that story because I don't want to be that guy. I don't remember how to do that. Like I said, still learning how to use the Instagram, kids. I apologize. Let's see. Okay, that's what I wanted. Come on. Sorry to hear the noise. Okay, I got everything on Instagram. Okay, very good. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. All right. Let's get into the comments themselves that have come in. Ram Jam says, what do I think about Zoe Starks winning Money in the Bank just to hand it over to Trish as a way to get some heat? I don't mind that because then Trish doesn't win it, which I think is very unrealistic, especially at this stage of her career. But to be handed it, kind of like Andre did to Ted DiBiase, I am all for that kind of ridiculous, stupid, cheap heel heat, just for the sake of it. I really am. I think that's a tremendous idea. I love that. Absolutely love that. Again, Dave, we'll get to your super chat about predictions. I want to bring the card up before I get everything going there. Psycho Jet Black says, what would have been the better match? Owen Hart versus Bryan Danielson or Eddie Guerrero versus Kenny Omega? Golly. Man, oh man. I will go with Eddie. Oh man, see, so good. Son of a bitch. Damn. Man, they would have both been tremendous. By the way, Datilla, I saw your tweet. I don't know if you're here or not yet. I saw your tweet about trying to get the glare off of glasses and shots. I still haven't figured out how to do that yet. So if you get an answer that works, please forward me the information. Shit. I'm gonna go with. It would be a dead heat without a doubt. But I will go with Owen Hart versus Bryan Danielson would have been better. But it would have been a dead heat. Super close. My goodness. King Mike says, do I think Punk will be facing MJF at the next pay-per-view, or why did he come back with the bag in his hand, which I assume is championship? Yeah, that's kind of the pervading thought. But with the announcement we got during Forbidden Door, the fact that we're going to have All Out coming up Sunday, September 3rd in Chicago, I think we may get that match then. Regardless, whatever happens at Wembley. I don't think Muta ever wrestled Kenny Omega. I think Muta was not. Kenny wasn't working with. I don't think. If it did happen, please send me a link. I'd love to watch it. And yes, I agree that Zoe can help Trish like Carmella getting help from Mr. Ellsworth. Yes, totally makes sense. I dig that. I love all that, guys. Great stuff. Great comments. Great questions, guys. All right, let me go back into the super chat, and we can get the $5 again. Thank you, Dave, for your contributions to the chaos, as I like to call it. Let's get the clock anymore, so we'll go ahead. Money. There we go. Jesus. All right, so I don't have the match graphics ready yet because I'm not in producer mode yet. I will have them ready for the boys on Saturday when we go. Gunther versus Matt Riddle. I think Gunther retains. It's going to be better than people are expecting, I'm sure. But I think we're going to see a competitive match between the two. But I still don't think it's time for Gunther to lose the championship yet. I really don't. I really don't think that's going to be a thing. And JJ, since you brought this up now, I'll go ahead and ask it. Thoughts on having Ronda Shayna versus Alba Isla on a throwaway SmackDown instead of at Money in the Bank? I'd rather have that at the pay-per-view than Liv and Raquel challenging Ronda and Shayna. I think, and this is just me, throwing shit at the wall and see what sticks, Jay. I think they want to run it back to Raquel and Liv. I don't think they were supposed to lose the tag titles that quickly, and Liv got hurt. So I think they're going to run it back that Liv and Raquel regain the championships on Premium Live Event, and then maybe we'll get a babyface team of Liv and Raquel versus a heel team of Alba and Isla, and then Ronda and Shayna will still be in the mix. Just little food for thought there, but that's just what I think is going to be the case. Speaking of, as I said, Ronda and Shayna versus Liv and Raquel, I think Liv and Raquel are going to regain the tag titles again. I really think we need a good, solid showing from both Ronda and Shayna in the ring, and Ronda more so because she's been, she didn't do much in the match. She didn't, and it's like she didn't, to be honest. But I still am entertained by the story and by her being back. So we get new champions here, in my personal opinion. But then we get Alba and Isla challenging. We get Ronda and Shayna trying to get it back. Just good, possibly, God forbid, good dynamics between the women's tag team ranks. Cody and Dominic, like I said, Cody and Dominic is a placeholder. It really is for Cody. I'm not trying to demean Dominic at all. Just one of those things. I think that they needed something for Cody to do while they did the Bloodline Civil War, which we'll get to momentarily, while Seth faces Finn Balor, which again we'll get to momentarily. And it's getting Dominic time on mic being drowned out, but he's getting time on time and promo battles with Cody Rhodes, which is never a bad thing. So, but as far as the win, I think Cody's gonna pick up the win here. I think if he loses to Dominic, it doesn't completely derail Cody, but I think it hurts Cody more than it helps Dominic if Dominic wins, right? Because Dominic winning now, yes, he would be, oh my God, the biggest win of his career, besides being a tag champion with his dad. But I don't see him being the guy to challenge the World Heavyweight Champion. I just don't see that as people. I don't think the overall audience would buy it. Let's see. Why not get the home country girls their moment in London, lose, at least they get their pop, and then have Liv Raquel win at SummerSlam? Again, I don't disagree with that, Jay, as far as the tag titles. I think they wanted to give Liv and Raquel their moment of winning on the premium stage, and they wanted to do it sooner rather than later. So, again, not always the glorious, looking at the horizon, proper thinking ahead that we want from WWE, right? Chris, by the way, I did say I was going to talk about your and I's back and forth on Twitter regarding Jinder Mahal and the WWE Championship. There were so many questions I had from last week that I didn't get to. That's why I'm not doing it tonight, but I will get to it, I promise. Logan Paul, I'm okay with winning Money in the Bank, and we'll get there. We'll get there momentarily. So anyway, back to predictions, since I was in there. Seth frickin' Rollins, defending against the World Championship against Finn Balor. Again, I want to see Seth have a decent length reign. But I'll say this. I say Seth retains, and it'll be later in the night. And then I say that the men's Money in the Bank ladder match will come before the world title match. Logan Paul will win, cash in on Seth Rollins, win the world title. I know, hot take. And then we get Logan versus Seth one-on-one for the world title at SummerSlam and a rematch from WrestleMania. Heard it here from me, kids. I think it's going to be a thing. I really do. And I hate that I think that way, but that's what I see happening. I truthfully do. And again, I don't like it at all, but as far as the women's Money in the Bank, conventional thinking says Becky. And thank you, Jay. Appreciate that. And hello, Matt. Good to see you in the chat room. And yes, please everybody hit the like, hit the subscribe button on YouTube for all 4 channels. And please turn on the notification bells, and please super chat like Dave did tonight. Thank you again, Dave. Appreciate that. And yes, everybody's chiming in on my thoughts about Logan. As far as the females, we've got Matthew saying Io in the bank. We've got Chris saying Logan Paul is going to take the briefcase on all his platforms. I mean, I had that on where the hell did that briefcase go? Oh, shit, where did I put it? Oh, it's way the hell over there. Having the briefcase right here on a podcast stream every time Logan Paul goes on a podcast or does one of his shows, that's freaking brilliant. So I absolutely approve of that, without a doubt. If the winner cashes in Roman, does he get full undisputed title? That is a very good question, and I think we may get it answered if they do cash in on Roman. But I think Logan's going to cash in on Seth. I will concede. I will that the Money in the Bank concept has been diluted enough where it doesn't seem as important as it used to. So I think that while the idea of having Logan Paul having the briefcase on his podcast every week is a big deal, I think having him have the World Heavyweight Championship is an even bigger FU to the hardcore wrestling fans. So there you go. So again, women's Money in the Bank, smart thinking, says Becky, but I'm going to go with Io Sky. I'm going to go with Io Sky just so we can have at least one Money in the Bank holder have the possibility of waiting in the shadows to strike. So Io Sky and Logan Paul for the Money in the Bank matches. And my goodness, this bloodline civil war that has engulfed us all watching sports entertainment, professional wrestling, whatever we're going to call it. It's such a beautiful thing. Damn, I didn't even have really a thought about who was going to win this match when I got there. Cleaver, I appreciate you coming in, brother. And wonderful to see you on the review today. And I hope we get to work together again soon, my friend. It was wonderful having you back on video screens with me. It was awesome. Appreciate you coming in. Oh God. JJ, you're trying to drive all the hardcore fans crazy. Honestly, the bloodline. Goodness gracious. All right. Do I have a coin handy? I don't have a coin handy. I will go with, because Roman and Solo lost at Night of Champions, I say they win here. Roman and Solo win here. But it wears Roman down enough where I think we still get the match at the Garden coming up on July 7th. Because I think that Cody's going to do it at the Garden, like JD's been saying. We have a war in the chat room between JJ and oh no, dude, Arquette will do it though. That's the thing. Anyway, stop! Oh Lord. Okay, I need to move on quickly. The chat room's you guys are getting out of hand in the chat room. You guys are causing shenanigans. All right. Anyway, let's see. I got that one already. Speaking of, actually, that's not speaking of anything. Take that back. Did WWE drop the Hurt Business reforming, and what should Bobby Lashley be doing right now on SmackDown? I think they absolutely botched it. I think they should have them reunite. I really think that should be a thing. But they're not going to. So don't. Oh God, you guys are the worst. You guys are the absolute shits. A lot of you. So Chris with a great question. I love it. If LA Knight wins and fails to cash in, will his run be dead on arrival? Yeah, it will, because people are so amped up about him possibly being Mr. Money in the Bank that if he does win the briefcase, does win the contract, and doesn't successfully cash in, what do you do with him after that? Because you've got this built up, he gets momentum, and then he cashes in, that's it. So, yeah, I don't. There's no doubt that Dominic would be a hated champion. I just think you're heaping too much on the boy too soon. I think, Dominic as the Intercontinental or U.S. champion, I'm buying that. The World Heavyweight or WWE champion, not so much yet. Psycho says, people should be grateful that Logan Paul, Bad Bunny, and Pat McAfee can put on great entertaining matches. Remember all those terrible celebrities from the 2010s and the Raw GM era? Oh, God, we all remember those. And if you don't, please don't go back and watch. You'll actually have your gray matter in your brain capacity decrease exponentially watching that shit. It's awful. So Zach has a spoiler in the chat room, so I'm going to ignore it because it is a spoiler for NXT, technically speaking. I did know about it, but again, guys, if you're going to come into this talk wrestling on Tuesday nights, please don't put anything that happened on NXT, even as something as consequential as that, Zach. We still want to have everybody that didn't have a chance to find out to get to watch it yet. Haven't seen the article about Grayson Waller. You'll have to fill me in on that within reason. Where's the European Championship when we need it for Dom Dom? Work for Shane O'Mac. Yes. Yes. Exactly. I don't think Dominic is at the level of Rick Rude or The Miz for my money. I know people have different opinions on Rick Rude based on when they watched. I think Miz is a phenomenal Intercontinental Champion. I don't think Dom's there yet. Matt says, LA Knight and Ricky Starks basically the same person wrestling right now. Both can talk or super over and sort of be pushed to the moon. Thank you, sir. They both need these big wins coming up. Yep. Ricky Starks needs to win that Owen Hart Cup, regardless of what it means as far as implications of the AEW. He's got to get a solid, especially over Juice. He's got to beat Juice on Saturday. At the tapings, Thursday, whatever it is. He's got to win that match at least. I think he should win the tournament. And yes, definitely LA Knight needs it. But thank you. There it is. There it is right there. And it's not that he's bad in the ring, JJ. So he says he's on a level heat-wise, not skill-wise. He's not there skill-wise yet, but the potential is there because of his pedigree, because of his training with Ray and everything that he's already capable of doing. He's just got a couple more steps to take before he's at that level. I think Ricky Starks being a TNT champion should have happened before he became FTW champion. Freaking stupid. But again, Ricky Starks has been one of my favorite people in AEW, was one of my favorites in NWA. The guy's talented for days. Here's a spoiler for Ryback will not go back to WWE. God, I hope not. Jiminy Crickets. How do you see the tag team picture playing out with two sets of belts, new ones, or split them up again? One set. You don't need two sets of tag teams. I think there's so few proper tag teams that the championships traveling like the women's championships do is fine. Okay, so I guess Grayson's hurt. That's why he's doing the Grayson Waller show, the Grayson Waller Effect talk show segments. Keep the kid on TV. The kid's great. I feel so. Grayson Waller is a tremendous talent. And I think keeping him on TV, keeping him talking, keeping him engaged in current television, I'm here for it. Does anyone remember anything noteworthy that Dom did a match that screams heel? I can't think. Okay. What's the potential of a Cena versus Logan Paul feud? Is that match good enough to be considered a main event caliber on SummerSlam? I don't know about main event. Marquee match, like on the posters and on the little sky things across the stadium? Yes. The main event, the last match? No. But definitely a marquee match. JJ, you fired. you just are. Ricky Starks should have been TNT champion already. The fact that he's all he's ever had is the FTW belt feels like insult. It does. It's absolutely insult. And I'm not, shitting on the FTW title. Hook's been a great champion. The FTW title I think gets a little too less credit than it deserves because there's been Taz, Sabu, Brian Cage. I think Chris Chetty held it briefly on the Independents. Ricky Starks, Hook. It's great champions for an unsanctioned title. So, and then again, Bryan Danielson can continue cutting problems even with a broken freaking arm. He finished the match with a fractured arm the other night. Again, I can't say enough how proud I am of Bryan Danielson as my longtime friend, and what he and Okada did Sunday night was extraordinary. What Kenny Omega and Will Ospreay did was next level. Those four guys are just on a whole other platform than anybody else in wrestling right now in any company. I think the Bloodline storyline is the best story in wrestling and sports entertainment, whatever you want to call it. But those 4 guys are just, you can't touch them right now. Just can't. JD with a hot take saying the FTW championship is more prestigious than the TNT championship. I don't disagree, unfortunately. He tapped out effing Okada with a broken freaking arm. That's like winning a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. A little bit different, but Brian will make it sound like it's the same, which is fine because Brian being a heel and working that. I mean, if you listen to the scrum, he wants Okada. He wants to end Okada, which I think is great. Let it happen, man. Let it happen. Absolutely. AEW, I made you tapped out with a broken. Yes, seriously. Get like the 0-316, I just broke your neck. Like something like that for Brian. God, I'll buy it in bulk. Are you kidding me? All right. I need to get off. I'm going to get off the air here. I'm going to get water first really quick so I can. I'm thirsty. And I'm talking myself to death here. All right, really quick here. We're going to go into the shills, and then we'll say goodnight. Again, if you guys want to see, if you guys want to super chat anything, please do. So first of all, as I'm sure the Casa DT Studios audience noticed, there was no Statboy Sports Bar today. They are closed today. They'll also be closed next Tuesday in observance of the 4th of July holiday, but you can catch Statboy and Dory Lou coming back on and he used the final countdown. That's right, JJ. That damn right, man. Statboy, Mike, and Miss Dory Lou will return to the Statboy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou on Tuesday, July 11th, coming up at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. That will be a JJ-produced presentation on the Costume Studios because of my being at Disney. And you can follow both Statboy and Dory Lou on Twitter at Hathaway Lou, at LBStack1977. Mikey's active on there quite a bit. Dory, I don't know if she's as active as Mikey, but please follow both of them so you can keep up with all their shenanigans they're up to while they are absent from the bar. Please, again, be sure to check out everything over the Costume Studios, including this Saturday with 3 different premieres, as well as our 2 live streams that day across the multiverse, but on the Casa exclusively. Over in the members section, you will check out JJ's very first members exclusive Renegades Wrestling reviews as he reviews that landmark event from June 2011. And speaking, we'll get to that momentarily at the end of the show here. So thank you to the gods for reminding me. Capital Punishment, of course, after Money in the Bank, he will have a double feature presentation of his weekly Renegades reviews. All of a sudden, I'm over fed up in this bitch. New release Saturday, of course, The Flash, the new movie that premiered recently from Warner Brothers and the DCEU. And he kicks off his month of the post-Renaissance Disney Animated Studios movies from the year 2000 to now with The Emperor's New Groove. All of this on Saturday over in the Costume Studios and the members section, which also beginning in July on Thursdays, you can check out his reviews of the NXT DVDs home video releases from Secret to Sensation, Best of 2017, Greatest Matches of the Black and Gold Arrows, Greatest Matches Volume 1 is what it says on the title, and the Best of NXT Takeovers from 2018. All those coming up in the members-only section of the Costume Studios, as well as your opportunity, if you're in the community, you can vote on which Money in the Bank match, actual Money in the Bank ladder match, not Matt Hardy versus Edge, loser leaves Raw, not Edge versus Mr. Kennedy, none of that shit. The actual Money in the Bank ladder matches for the briefcase amongst multiple people. That'll be coming up. You can vote on that now, and JJ and Noah will be watching your choice soon over in the members section of the Casa Studio. So please go check that out. Let's see what else we got here. Speaking of, let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, wait, no, we'll do that next. There we go. The Greg Cherry Show, of course, Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 Pacific. I will not be part of the show this week, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately. For me, I'm making money. I'll be working at Disney. But please check out Greg and Matty Laws on, I think this is Matty Laws for real last Wednesday because his schedule is going to be changing for work. So please check them out over there tomorrow. Throwback Thursday for the Casa, of course. That graphic didn't make it through because my technology hates me. But coming up Saturday, morning for us on the West Coast because they hate us. 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. Saturday, of course, the Multiverse of Media will be covering Money in the Bank live from the O2 in London. We're on the air at 11 a.m. Eastern. Live event coverage beginning at noon. We'll be going till, they're done. And then we'll have our Renegades Reviews double feature after that. And then open Mutt Night, of course, Saturday night, as we do every Saturday across the multiverse. My goodness, it's going to be a fun July. We've got all these watch-alongs, SmackDown at the Garden. We've got Slammiversary, Death Before Dishonor, and the Great American Bash all coming up in July. Then we get into August and All Out and All In, as well as SummerSlam. Just a lot of cool stuff coming up. So please, everybody, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you guys know when we're going live across the Jeff Meacham Network Multiverse of Media. That we also incur memes like this because I will be tired of your shit if you don't. There will be no Talk Wrestling the next 2 Tuesdays. We'll be on Thursday the next 2 weeks at the same time, 7 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 Pacific, unless I get scheduled to Disney. But right now I'm going to be on Thursday nights the next 2 weeks due to Disneyland obligations, either as a guest or as a cast member. So, well, they're both as cast members, but anyway, that's a whole other conversation. Check the thing one more time, make sure we didn't get any more questions. See, I had not seen Emperor's New Groove in its entirety until I found out JD was doing these reviews. I'm still not a fan, to be honest. I don't like David Spade, and his voice just grates on my ears. So there you go. And yes, I don't hate anybody, really. Just don't like Damien Demento very much. Not at all, Psycho. So there you go, guys. All right. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching today. It is always appreciated to have you guys come on in and interact with me on a Tuesday night. Again, the Greg Cherry Show tomorrow on the Greg Cherry brand. He will be the Greg Cherry brand and the Greg Cherry Show part of the multiverse beginning next week. Fully integrated back into the family, as well as Rangers of Wrestling from our buddy Attila. That's all coming up very, very soon. Till then, till next week, till Saturday at 11 a.m. Did I put 11 p.m. Pacific? I sure as shit did. I'm a bitch. 11 a.m. and we're this damn over here. 2 p.m. Eastern across the Multiverse of Media with our coverage of Money in the Bank. Until then, guys, have a wonderful night, and we'll see you next time right here. Talk Wrestling.